Okay, so I'm going to dedicate this video to my natural hair Shima girls. I have gotten a lot of questions regarding these single strand knots. And these single strand knots have different names, by the way. They're also known as pixie knots, peppercorns, fairy knots. But it seems like the most popular version is the single strand knots. And when it's abbreviated, it's SSK, by the way. Now, what are they? What are single strand knots? Okay, let's take a look. Single strand knots occur due to lack of moisture, meaning dryness. Again, what is the number one complaint among women of color? Hair dryness. And what have I been talking about for the past 3 years? Hair dryness. I mean, I brought it up so many times because it is a very serious situation with hair dryness causing not only split ends and making our hair break, but now in this particular case, single strand knots are also to blame for hair dryness. Okay, now, yes, split ends can also cause single strand knots. Now, the reason why this happens is because when the dry hairs are rubbing against each other, the weaker hair strands tend to curl back and form a knot, thus the single strand knot is born. Now, this is a really serious situation, Shima girls, because eventually that knot will break, and that is going to cause even more damage because that breakage will continue up the hair shaft, just like if you don't trim your split ends or cut off the split ends, it will continue up the hair shaft. So the same situation is occurring with the single strand knots. Now, you may be even more prone to these devilish single strand knots, especially if you happen to wear your hair out all the time, like in a fro, for example. However, don't assume that these single strand knots are strictly relegated only to the 4A or 4B hair types. Now, mind you, remember, I don't believe in hair types. It's just too technical, okay? But in this particular case, I'm going to talk about the hair types because a lot of you ladies talk about hair types among each other, and I definitely want you to understand me, okay? So again, these single strand knots are not strictly relegated just to the 4A and 4B hair types, okay? Because some 3B hair types also suffer from these little buggers. And some ladies have even stated that they have had up to 3 knots in just one strand. So these single strand knots are definitely a big nuisance, for lack of a better word. Now, unfortunately, many of our natural hair ladies, especially the 4A and 4B hair types, have resigned to the fact that having single strand knots comes with the territory, of being a natural. Well, it doesn't have to be that way because there are going to be a few effective steps that I'm going to go over that are definitely instrumental in removing and avoiding these single strand knots. Okay, and you don't have to resort to the almighty pair of scissors anymore. But having said that, let me point out that if your single strand knots are beyond tangling, then yes, you will definitely need to just cut them off. Okay, but once you cut them off, once you snip them off, you're going to do the following. After you apply a good moisturizer, and I'm not going to name brands because it's just so many out there and different ones work for different hair types, so you're going to have to choose your favorite. So first things first, you're going to apply a good moisturizer to the ends of your hair. Then you're going to seal the ends of your hair with either your shima oil or castor oil. Okay, now even though I do not recommend you mixing my shima oil with any other oil or moisturizer, in this particular case, I'm going to make a great exception because we're trying to, you know, um, just attack these single strands so they won't come back again. We're trying to get rid of them once and for all. So, okay, I'll make an exception. Now, after you have sealed the ends of your hair with your shima oil or castor oil, you're going to proceed to create your two-strand twist or single braided style, also known as protective styles. So look how effective and important protective styles are, even in this situation. It helps us to avoid these single strand knots. All right. Now, another effective method is frequent detangling sessions, meaning you are going to dedicate at least 2 days out of the week to simply detangle your hair. Detangle your hair before the single strand knot situation even gets a chance to start back up again. So dedicate some time, find time to detangle your hair at least twice in a week. All right. And use your fingers first. All right. Start from the ends on up. All right. Never forget those techniques. Fingers first, start from the ends on up. And this goes for you relaxed ladies as well, right? Detangle your hair with your fingers first. All right. Now, Last but not least, try to wear your hair out for special occasions only, meaning you're going to keep your two-strand twist and single braids in place at least 90 to 95% of the time. Okay? If you do this, at the end of the day, you're going to come out a winner because not only are you avoiding the single strand knots, this annoyance, but your hair is also growing longer and healthier in the process. So, we have to become motivated, become dedicated, so we can always come out a winner at the end of the day. All right, so we got that, ladies. Now we know how to take care of these single strand knots. If not, just post away and tell us your experience with single strand knots. All right, and how you've gone about removing your single strand knots or avoiding them. That's why we're here to help each other. All right, Shima girls. Hope you learned a lot again, especially my natural Shima girls. The video is definitely dedicated to you. So take care and wish you the best of luck. God bless.